All right, welcome back. It's a Money Monday, and I do want to talk to you about money. I'm following a bunch of stocks, as you know, but I'm not going to go jumping up and down. Overstock at 114, all-time high of all highs. Great news. The Dow is just middling around today, waiting on, I don't know, maybe to see what happens with the Democratic convention. I think it's going to be an absolute snooze fest. But watch this week, you're going to have these virtual conventions from the Democrats, okay? And watch the lineup that they roll out in front of you. If you're a moderate Democrat, if you're somebody who cares about the country, but you lean a little more left, but you're moderate, you like guns, okay, you like family, you like freedom, but you have more liberal views, watch what they're feeding you this week, okay? Tonight, in the leadoff spot, the man who is not a Democrat, the opening act, Bernie Sanders, not a Democrat, registered independent, but caucuses with the Democrats, so he's not even a member of the party, okay, was the leading contender to go up against Donald Trump until the establishment screwed him over again. His supporters are already saying that going for Joe Biden is like a glass half full. One of his campaign folks actually said, you know, voting for Joe Biden is like eating a half a bowl of turd. So that's what they got in the leadoff spot. And then you're going to have a procession of the most progressive, liberal, socialist you've ever seen. And Bernie's probably the most moderate because it's just going to get worse. You're going to have, here's AOC coming out talking to you about the Green New Deal, where they want to get rid of cars. They want to get rid of trains, planes, and automobiles. Basically, anything fossil fuel related, they want it out of here. They want it gone. No more gasoline, no more fossil fuels. The new green czar is AOC, okay? And she's for defund the police even more. She's for free college for immigrants, free health care for immigrants, open borders. That's coming up, coming soon to a theater near you after Bernie Sanders. And they're going to keep going down this list of people to Kamala Harris, who, across all media, they're saying that she is clearly the most progressive left candidate ever in history to run on the second name on the ticket, and the vice president, okay? So we're going to talk about that a lot. But there's some weird evidence out there of, you know, Kamala Harris being very transactional, being just a vessel to carry the message of the establishment. She rose to prominence by dating a very highly political connected guy, Willie Brown, and then she became the DA and the AG and the senator, and a very charmed life, okay? Now apparently there's some word out there that she's palling around with George Soros, or at least George Soros' son or something like that, which would add to the whole mystique. And my buddy Fernando Uribe, who's coming up in just a little bit, put this post out there where he said, this is vice presidential candidate Kamala Harris. The guy to her right is not Joe Biden. He is Alexander Soros, the son of George Soros. Same George Soros, funding left-wing state prosecutors, state and federal candidates, and left-wing radical groups such as Black Lives Matter. Bought and paid for. And then Fernando asked a good question, and we'll talk to him on his thoughts on it a little later on when he joins us right after this segment, actually. Are you woke yet? So I thought this whole woke thing, am I wrong, Nico, Jess, you youngsters, wasn't woke for the left at first? They were like saying everybody got to be woke, right? And now there's a woke right, wokening?
100%.
This is the awakening for the right now. We got to get the silent majority speaking, I would assume. And, you know, I referenced this a little bit in segment 1 with Karyn Turk, but take a look at this clip. You know, I'm digging into this Pizzagate, and it's not about a pizzeria that supposedly had a basement dungeon where they torture kids. It's about a meeting place, and this guy, James Alefantis, who's the owner of this Comet Pizza, has some really strange artwork in the place, and he has some really strange friends, and he and many of those friends have been on the Lolita Express over to Epstein Island. So there's a lot of little parts that are starting to click together on, and I'm looking at it, okay? But it seems like it might be creeping into even some of the mainstream guys where they have to ask the question. And here's Bill Maher on his show, Real Time, just the other night.
Running a pedophile sex ring out of a pizza parlor in Washington, D.C. I mean, it's on that level. And now, you know, it started on the internet, then it migrated, of course, to right-wing radio and stuff like that. And now we're seeing people, QAnon people, in Congress. Someone won the primary in Georgia. There's going to be a Republican congresswoman who's a QAnon person. They believe a satanic ring of you know, pedophilia fans are running the world, and reptilians and stuff like that. What do we do about that, or can we do anything about that?
Well, one feature of the internet and the way people are getting information now, Bill, is that negative sentiment and conspiracy theories now spread more virulently and effectively. Where if you remember, and you and I are old enough to remember the days before the internet, if you had someone with some crackpot theory, they couldn't find someone else, you know, like they were in the town square,
right,
or whatnot. But now they can connect with each other, and this is a feature. This is here to stay. This is something that we need to get our arms around as a society, because it's going to get worse when you have deep fakes and you're able to present compelling videos of you, me, and Pete doing things that we never did. And there's going to be this real question of what is truth in that kind of era, especially now when we're all sort of interacting via video. I mean, we take this video as truth and we're having this conversation, but then, you know, if there, you can present another video that says something else. So this is something that to me is fundamental to a functioning democracy, that we are decades behind the curve in terms of regulating or figuring out or governing what the rules are in terms of hate speech online, in terms of formation of various online communities. And it's getting more and more dangerous over time. It's only going to continue to get more dangerous as time goes on.
I think there's one other thing. I agree with all of that. I think there's one other thing going on. Look, conspiracy theories are actually nothing new. I mean, you can go all the way back to the 1790s and find conspiracy theories about the Illuminati. It's just something that's part of America. What's unusual is for it to have this much power, for a conspiracy group to have an ally in the White House or a member in Congress. But I think part of the appeal, especially right now, these groups, if you just look at the way they work, their little codes and stickers and logos, is they're offering a kind of membership. I think they're speaking to a sense of belonging that people are looking for anywhere they can find it.
Yep.
And if we don't build real sources of community, including, you know, right around us at a local level, then really dark and creepy and harmful things will come in to fill that void. And I think we're seeing that right now.
Yeah, I think that's very true.
I'm starting to look into it a little more, but even some of the inner linings of the left wing, like Bill Maher, are starting to at least ask the question. So we'll take a quick break, come back with Fernando Uribe right after this.